All right, folks, let's talk about this disaster that happened at the Olympics and what this means for us. Let me go to it real quick. Um, I got some notes. I actually wrote some notes today. So, the Olympic ceremony, they actually took down the Olympic ceremony from the website, even though they still have up all of the previous Olympic ceremonies. They took this one down because of backlash. And we'll get to that. The official video has been deleted from the official Olympics account. And let's just talk about this. The Last Supper. Let's talk about the group in general that this was like. Why would they do this? Like, I know they probably wanted the views and it probably worked, but you're not going to get all publicity is not good publicity. All publicity is not like contrary to what people believe like yeah this got people watching the views. And I think this is very similar to what happens with people when they think that they're too big for, for Hollywood. They either go gay or they go broke or both. For instance, the Oscars. Nobody watched the Oscars until Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. I know I didn't. Then they made a whole bunch of videos. Why do you think it happened? Then Chris Rock suddenly came out with a special. Then Will Smith suddenly started making more movies. You see what I'm saying? It's just like when rappers beef. Then they both suddenly drop albums. Then their albums are number one because they're trying to see if the one person dissed the other. Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, Drake and Kendrick. I don't buy into that stuff no more. But I'm saying it's predictable in my eyes. As soon as somebody drops a diss track, I'm like, oh, he's gonna come out with an album soon. They ride the wave. And that's what they're doing. I think the Olympics is just riding the wave. They're like, oh, most of our viewers are probably in America, so that's what what we're gonna pander to. And they say that like this is such a suppressed or oppressed group. They're so oppressed they get millions of money in funding for their pride parades and all of this stuff. We don't even have black parades anymore in February, like Black History Month. We don't have no Black History Month parades. They have pride parades though. They have whole flags for their gender affirming whatever. Woo woo. Imagine all the medical expenses that people pay for the gender affirming care, and all the classrooms with the pride flags. Anyway, I digress. They have a whole month dedicated to them. How are they oppressed? Like, I don't think they're oppressed. I think nobody really cares that much. Like, nobody really cares that much about their delusion. Anyways, let's get to this Last Supper blasphemy because as a Christian, this really bothers me. But it was predicted in the Bible. The Bible does say that they'll talk about me. It even says that people will cast out demons in my name and I will not know them. Like, it's wild. Why try to tarnish such a biblically significant event? Because they want to, I think we're just living in the last days. People are trying to tarnish it. Like, it's kind of like the Hebrew Israelites, how they believe in the Bible, but they're the only people that believe in something that they read out of, but they literally do it so that they can discredit everything in it, almost everything in it. Like, they're like, read it from my lens, like reread it, but don't read it from in context. Read it from my lens, from how I see it. Don't read it how you would see it. Look at it how I see it. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to see the world how I see it. And if you see it any differently, then you're wrong. It makes no sense to me. Rant over. Okay. So what they're trying to do is basically trying to alter history. Like, they're trying to make it seem like it didn't happen. Everybody who has a video about it or everybody who posted the actual video of it happening, like the internet doesn't exist. Like, people don't screen record and have it on Twitter and, all of these places. Twitter coming in for the win again. One of the only free places that actually still has the video up and actually still showing it. It's taken down off everywhere else. But that just goes to show free speech is not free. Free speech is not free unless it's on Twitter. They can freely just take it down, like, at will. And they're trying to do what they did with the Alicia Keys at the Super Bowl when Alicia Keys hit that note, and I was like, whoa, what the hell? Because it was live. And then they went back and altered it and made it seem like she hit that note really well. We know she didn't, but she did. It's just like the Janet Jackson thing. They tried to take that down. We all know what happened. I watched it live too. but they're trying to alter history. He who controls the the textbook controls history. Why do you think in communist nations one of the first things they do is burn all the history books? Because if you can't learn what freedom is, you'll think that this is free. That's what they do. And then they take away the guns. But that's a different topic for a different subject. So they're literally trying to change it and act like this never happened. Did they not learn anything from Bud Light, from the millions and billions of dollars that they've lost? Or Target? Or what was the other one? Planet Fitness? Have they not learned anything from these places? Once you go woke, you go broke. I'd be surprised if anybody even watches the Olympics now anymore. I mean, my mom literally called me the other day and was like, "Have you know the Team USA games?" I'm like, "Yeah, I watched the highlights." I mean, our starting five are like the five most known basketball players in the world. Like, if we lose, then it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment if we lose. Like, I think 80% of the roster has dropped over 50 points in a game before. Like, I know Devin Booker dropped 61. Or was it 70? He dropped really close to what Kobe got. Anyways, I digress. This ceremony, performance, whatever, was a disgrace. It's not because everybody was fat or everybody was, LGBT. Everybody was like, you can't just do a normal performance, bro. Like, for real, nobody came to the Olympics like, ooh, I want to watch the gayest Olympics that's ever happened. I can't wait to see the Olympics. It's going to be super gay this year. No, no. Inclusion, really what I've boiled it down to is really just including my feelings and my perspective of what everybody else should or think. Like 10 years ago, bro, this would not fly. People would be like, bro, that Olympics was weird, man. That Olympic ceremony was weird. Like, we would be flaming this. We would be talking about this for weeks. Like, bro, this ain't it. Because it's not. This is not it. We can't keep encouraging delusion. Like, if you're born a male human, you can't identify as a cricket and say, I'm a cricket, bruh. You can't. You're not a cricket. You're a human. And a human male, whatever genitalia you're born with. And they keep saying intersex. Like, bruh, that's less than 1% of the human population. You got to think of the hundreds of millions of people that are born. Out of those 100 million people, it's probably going to be one person. Maybe. It's just wild. That everybody wants their feelings to be included. F your feelings. What about the facts? Facts are more important. And once facts don't become as important, and I think this is really the media's fault. Once they started manipulating what people see as fact, then the lines started really being blurred on what's true, what's fiction, what's false, And once they started not differentiating between feelings and facts, that's really when it went downhill, in my opinion. Like, I can give you one statistic and you'll say, well, that statistic say this, but I got another graph that says the opposite. Well, let's look up the groups. Let's look up the study groups. Let's look up the control. Nah, I don't want to do that. I just know what my statistics say, and my statistics are better than yours. So what I think goes. And if you disagree with me, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a fascist, you're a liar. And I mean, this is a political channel. Let's talk about that. Why is it that they think that the right is fascist? But don't fascist leaders try to kill their political opponents or cheat them out of elections? Is that not what they do? That's what fascism is, right? I can't remember no right-wing people trying to murder a president. Just saying. That's what fascism is. That's what fascists do. Fascists try to silence the other side. Antifa, anti-fascists, but they try to silence and beat people that disagree with them. That sounds pretty fascist to me. How are you going to be anti-fascist, but you're the fascist? It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. But let me know what y'all think about these Olympic ceremony in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. Let me know if you liked it. Was it atrocious? Was it awful? Was it great? Was it the best thing you've ever seen in the Olympic history? I mean, it was interesting to say the least, but it's just distasteful in my personal opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and peace.